Remember how I said last week's episode was my favorite? I lied. From a fan perspective, this week's was. So let's just dive in. So let's get the RWBY part out of the way first. They had a little moment outside, drinking coffee and staring at the sunrise. RWBY brings up Blake, and we dove into Yang's feelings about her. How she's angry at Blake because she left them and it was her choice to leave. I'm starting to think that Yang's tremble is more about her controlling her anger or energy, other than her PTS. Yang's pretty mad and bitter, enough so that her eyes turn red and she snaps at Weiss. Chill, fam. Fuck you. Okay, damn. Yang and Weiss have a good heart-to-heart, and I honestly like that they had Weiss talk to Yang instead of RWBY. Judging how Yang got Blake to talk to her and understand her and trust her in Volume 2, I think Yang is the type of person who needs to have equal ground with someone. What I mean is, Yang told Blake how she was searching for her mother and how she was so driven by that she almost got herself and RWBY killed, much like Blake was doing with the White Fang at the time. In this scene, Weiss connects with Yang over their lonely childhoods, whether it was how everyone abandoned Yang in her life, aka her mother leaving her at birth, her father being too busy for her, and Blake left her in her time of need. Or how Weiss's father never loved her, her mother threw herself into alcoholism, and Winter left to join the military when Weiss was at a presumably young age. Weiss tries to explain why Blake left and her reasoning behind it, but Yang can't get over how Blake left her. It makes sense why she would be so angry at her. In her eyes, Blake got up and left her even after she knew about Yang's severe abandonment issues. Blake left her in one of her biggest times of need, and she feels betrayed. Alright, time for my favorite part. Shocking, I know, the part that had Weiss in it where she was talking about her family wasn't my favorite part of the episode. Blake and Ilya meet up, and Ilya says she's sorry. Like, a lot. Why are you sorry? Oh, you fuck. Blake is really hopeful that Ilya had a change of heart. Like, Naruto being hopeful Sasuke would return to the village kind of hopeful, which is a very dangerous kind of hope to have. Ilya leads Blake into a trap. She gets pretty tied up. And Ilya informs her that she's taking her to Adam. Blake is like, oh shit. We learned that Blake and Adam were canon together even if they weren't dating. Blake is like, stop doing this! This isn't you! And Ilya's like,
yes, it is. But I guess back then you were just too busy falling for Adam to notice.
Now, I thought it was gonna stop here and, move on. I was not emotionally prepared for this next part.
I was always jealous of the way you looked at him. I wanted you to look at me that way. But we can't always get what we want.
I'd like to say it was actually squealing because, guys, Ilya loves Blake. It's canonical that Ilya is LGBT. I'm screaming, I love her! And this is why it's my favorite episode. Living for that LGBT rep. Moving on. Sun saves Blake, Ilya gets away, and they're going to the Belladonna house where we see the White Fang fucking shit up. Kali is being cool, Gira is being cool, Corsic and Finnick, I don't remember which is which, come in and they look like they're gonna try and take Gira. Gira looks physically more powerful than both of them combined, so they have to have something up their sleeves. Alright. Soundtrack in this episode was amazing. As usual, it really fit the scene, especially during Blake and Ilya's scene together. It was setting the perfect mood. That scene in general was amazing, and Erin Zek, Blake's voice actress, did an amazing job with Blake's lines. We got to see Gira and Kali fighting and shooting stuff, and it was kind of awesome. That one guard went down after a shot to the shoulder, but whatever. This is the content I said I wanted to see last video. We got to hear more of Weiss's childhood. Her father never loved her mother, as majority of us assumed. Mama Schnee got mad. Jacques snapped, which, judging by the way Weiss paused, I think it's a way of saying that he hit her, or he started moving towards using physical abuse as punishment. As said, her mother turned to wine and slowly became an alcoholic, downing bottles of it. I don't think she told the others that her father disinherited her and slapped her, but this is probably the closest we're getting to her telling them anything. Yang has abandonment issues. Yang had no one for years growing up, so when she finally got attached to someone that wasn't RWBY, that someone being Blake, and they left, it screwed her over. Yang confided in her and told her about her life, her mother leaving, Summer dying, and she still left. I talked about it earlier, so I won't say much about it anymore. We didn't hear anything from Ozpin this episode. That better happen next episode. I think this all covers it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this series, leave a like, subscribe to see these every week. See you guys then.